Welcome to Precise Story. Today we'll go through the movie The Matrix, a sci-fi action film. In the movie we see, in future, how will AI machines take over human beings? Before jump into the movie, please subscribe to my channel and don't forget let me know about your favorite movie in the comment section below. In the movie we see, Thomas Anderson works as a programmer for a renowned software firm and also a hacker on the sideline. On the dark web, he goes under the name Neo. He has had strange visions about something called the Matrix, but he doesn't know about the Matrix world and has curiosity to know it. One day he receives a message on his computer. In this message, he is told to follow the white rabbit. Neo is surprised when he hears a knock on his door. It is a gang of ravers. The gang proceeds to depart when Neo hands them a contraband desk, but when the main raver notices Neo's depressed condition, he invites him to join them. Neo refuses the offer but changes his mind when he notices a white rabbit tattoo on one of the girls in the group. A lady named Trinity approaches Neo in the party bar. He instantly realizes that Trinity was the one who texted him earlier. He inquired about the Matrix, but Trinity informs him he is in grave danger and under monitoring. The next day at work, Neo receives a delivery package at his cubicle. When he opens the package, he finds a cell phone which instantly begins to ring. On the other end of the line is Morpheus, who tells Neo that they are on his tail and advises him to gently look up at the elevator. Neo notices that his operatives, Smith, Jones, and Brown, are hunting for him. Morpheus tries to lead Neo out of the building, but Neo refuses, allowing himself to be seized by the agents. The agents bring Neo in for questioning, reminding him that he has violated every cyber law in the country and that he may spend the rest of his life in prison. Agent Smith provides him with an escape route. He asks Neo to assist them in apprehending Morpheus, the guy who had contacted Neo earlier. Smith dubs Morpheus the most dangerous terrorist alive, but Neo raises a finger at the agents and requests to consult with his lawyer. Smith warns him that a phone conversation is pointless if he is unable to talk. Neo realizes that his lips have fused together. The agents then push Neo on the table and implant a shrimp-like probe in his stomach, penetrating through his navel while Neo protests in vain. Neo then awakens in his bed in a cold sweat, wondering whether it was all a dream. Morpheus then calls and invites Neo to meet him at the Atom Bridge, promising to answer all of Neo's questions. Under the bridge, Trinity and two people in a vehicle pick up Neo. Switch, the lady in the front seat, aims a gun at Neo and orders him to remove his shirt. Trinity assures Neo, who is confused, that it is for their mutual safety that he obliges. Trinity then pulls out a gadget and removes the spy probe inserted in the body by the agents. After all, Neo wasn't simply dreaming after all. Trinity then leads Neo to an abandoned structure, where he encounters Morpheus. Morpheus informs Neo that the answers he has been seeking his entire life cannot be described, but must only be seen and experienced. Morpheus, on the other hand, warns Neo that once he discovers the truth, he would be unable to return. Morpheus then asks Neo to select between a blue and a red pill. The blue pill will return Neo to his previous life, the red pill will keep Neo in Wonderland, and Morpheus will reveal how deep the rabbit hole goes. Morpheus explained to Neo, who is confined to a chair after taking the red pill, that the tablet he swallowed is part of a tracing program that can identify him. Neo notices a shattered mirror beside him that mysteriously heals itself. When Neo touches the surface, the silver begins to creep over his skin and penetrate him while Morpheus' staff, surrounding him, looks for something on the monitors. Neo blacks out as the silver fluid completely covers him. Neo then awakens in a pink embryonic pod that extends from the side of a large column that is part of a vast power station. Neo is bald and nude with black tubes linked to every part of his body. Neo sees that he is surrounded by towers once he comes from the capsule. There is a tower of pods similar to his, which were filled with human bodies. After waking up, Neo is noticed by a hovering robot nurse and flushed down the drain. A hovercraft comes above Neo and drags him into its cargo bay just as he is about to drown in the muck. Morpheus' team surrounds Neo once more, and they are dressed in simple hand-woven clothing. Morpheus welcomes Neo to the real world as he passes out. Morpheus and others repair Neo's body over the course of a week, saying that Neo's muscles had atrophied after being unconscious his full life. Morpheus also blames Neo's pain for the fact that he has never utilized them before. Morpheus informs Neo that they are aboard his ship, the Nebuchadnezzar. He explains that the year is not 1999, but rather a year close to 2199. He then takes him on a tour of the ship and introduces him to his crew members, which include Trinity, Switch, Seraph, Mouse, Brothers Pink, and Dozer. Neo is not bound, and a lengthy probe is placed into the socket in the back of the skull. He then awakens in an all-white environment with Morpheus and a head full of hair, and the sock all over his body. Morpheus reveals that white space is a computer program into which they can download whatever they want. The chairs and television in front of them are computer-generated virtual worlds. He then shows Neo a video of a contemporary metropolis, which he recognizes as the world. Morpheus reveals that it is simply a brain interactive simulation called the Matrix, and that it is not real. Morpheus then reveals Neo the true world, which is a barren wasteland with a clouded sky. And by the end of the 20th century, a conflict had erupted between humans and AI computers. Because the machines were powered by solar energy during the time, humanity shattered the sky in an attempt to combat the robots. However, the machines used people as a source of power and enslaved them. The combination of more than 120 volts of electricity and 25,000 BTU of body heat produced by the human body is all the energy machines will ever require. Morpheus then takes Neo to a field where robots produce humans, connecting them to outlets and confining them in pods. He says that the Matrix is a computer-generated dream world designed to control mankind and transform them into a mere power supply. Morpheus and his crew, in contact with those of the city of Zion, the only remaining human metropolis deep below near the Earth's core, are the last free humans. Morpheus and his group regularly hack their way into the Matrix using cell phones, hoping to release more humanity. Neo also learns about the machine programs that manage the Matrix and the actual world, such as the agents he met in the Matrix and a sentinel who operates in the real world. The agents have the ability to take control of any human in the Matrix. Neo collapses from exhaustion as a result of the information overload. Later, using computer simulation, he taught a variety of martial arts skills such as taekwondo, drunken boxing, and kung fu in a couple of hours. Morpheus is astounded by Neo's skill throughout the virtual training, which is intended to increase his faith in a prophecy given by someone dubbed Oracle. According to Oracle's prophecy, Neo is the individual who will liberate humanity from machine enslavement. Morpheus then shows Neo how to release his thoughts by jumping from one building to the next. Neo also realizes that if he dies in the Matrix, he will die in reality. Later that day, Sentinel approaches their spacecraft, forcing them to hide in a massive sewage system and disconnect their power. The team manages to remain hidden, and the Sentinel passes them by. Morpheus, Trinity, Neo, Switch, Mouse, and Cypher travel to the Matrix. The next day to see the Oracle, Cypher secretly puts his mobile phone into the garbage on their way to Oracle's house for an unknown reason. Oracle lives in an apartment with prospective children. When Neo confronts Oracle, she surprises him by telling him that he is not the one and that one day he would have to choose whether to rescue him or Morpheus. On their journey back, the group discovers that they have been attacked because Seraph turned them out in return for an ignorant but joyful living in the Matrix. Tank leads the rest of the group to a tunnel through the walls, but they are found by an agent. In order to protect Neo, Morpheus sacrifices himself and allows himself to be taken. Trinity and others were able to flee thanks to Morpheus. However, it is Seraph to return to Nebuchadnezzar before others. He electrocutes Tank, Dozer, and begins disconnecting the crew one by one in the real world. However, before Cypher can be disconnected, Trinity, Tank, who has somehow survived, shoots Cypher dead. Trinity and Neo made it back to the ship well safely. Agent Smith questions Morpheus about the city of Ion. Afraid agents forcefully extracted the key to Morpheus, the only remaining human city. Tank continues to disconnect him until Neo steps in. Neo recalls his discussion with Oracle, in which she told him that he is not the one, but that one day he can choose to save Morpheus. Neo decides to sacrifice himself in order to bring Morpheus back. Trinity and Neo then proceed to a heavily armed building lobby. They fire their way through the guards and a group of troops and enter the elevator. They use the cable to climb to the top of the skyscraper and detonate a bomb in the lobby. They are promptly attacked at the top by cops who are remotely controlled by the agents. Following a lengthy battle, Neo deftly dodges strikes and gunshots while killing the cops. Following that, Neo and Trinity board the helicopter that was initially dispatched to evacuate Morpheus and the agents. Trinity flies the helicopter and takes it down to the roof. Neo then fires at the agents, forcing them to flee. Morpheus then escapes captivity and leaps for the chopper. Neo connects himself to a rope, but the agents cause the helicopter to fail, causing Neo and Morpheus to jump from one of the towers. Trinity grabs a rope wrapped around Neo and leaps before the chopper crashes. Morpheus exclaims, "Neo is the one," as Neo pulls her up. Neo informs him that the Oracle advised him differently. Morpheus, on the other hand, says that she told you just what you need to hear. The group rushes to the subway in search of a phone booth. Morpheus leaves the Matrix and Trinity enters the phone booth. Trinity picks up the phone and flees as Smith blows up the phone. Instead of fleeing a long struggle, Neo decides to confront Smith. Smith overpowers Neo and throws him into the metro rails. As a train approaches, he puts Neo in a headlock. Neo, on the other hand, backflips off the rails, leaving Agent Smith vulnerable to the incoming train. While the Nebuchadnezzar is under attack by the Sentinels, Agent Smith overtakes another human and begins pursuing the O. Out of the underground, while waiting for Neo to return, the team prepares to fire an electromagnetic pulse at the Sentinels. Neo snatches a phone from a commoner in order to contact Tank while avoiding Smith's strikes. As the Sentinels smash through their ship, Tank leads Neo to a structure. Neo enters room 303, but Smith shoots him in the belly. The agents declared him dead and then left. As Sentinel's lasers begin to rip through the major components of the hovercraft, Trinity bends over Neo's lifeless corpse and explains that Oracle predicted that she would fall in love with a guy and that man would be the one. Trinity expresses her affection for Neo and kisses him passionately. Neo abruptly awakens, and the agents begin to fire on him. Neo, on the other hand, telekinetically stops the bullets in midair and lowers them to the floor. As the One, Neo begins to see through the Matrix for what it is. He easily defeats Agent Smith and returns to the ship just as Morpheus unleashes the imp and the Sentinels collapse to the floor inert. Neo awakens to see Trinity standing over him and gives her a loving kiss in return for her love. The film concludes with Neo continuing his efforts to liberate captive humanity. So, the viewers, this is all we have today. Please subscribe to my channel and let me know about your favorite part of the movie in the comment section below.